Hi everybody, it's Christina from Adventures in Polishland, and happy Friday to you. And today's Friday reads, I wanted to share what video I posted this week. I have a 2-1 book haul. You'll see what I mean in a second. And then I have a reading update. Let's start with the video I posted. I did get a review up earlier this week. It was my thoughts on No One Can Pronounce My Name by Rakesh Satyal, which I read for a book set in Ohio for the American Lit Reading Challenge. I will leave a link to that video in the description box if you would like to hear my full thoughts on that book. I did, over this past weekend, go to Boston to see the Great Gatsby National Tour. I ended up really liking it. I had seen the show on Broadway with the vast majority of the original Broadway cast. Noah Ricketts was out when I saw it, but I saw most of the original cast. I thought the show was okay. I think it's a good show if you're looking for a classic Broadway performance, and it can be enjoyable by a lot of people. So if you're familiar with the book, if you're not, or if you're going with Broadway newbies, I think it can be a really great show. All of that being said, I actually really enjoyed the tour a lot more. I don't know if it's because I knew what to expect or because I wasn't going for a specific actor. I was more just going to enjoy the performance, but for whatever reason, I liked the show a lot more. But of course, while I was in the city, I had to go to a used bookstore. I went to Commonwealth Books, and then I found a box set there that I saw. And I saw it before the show and I didn't buy it. And then I was thinking about it and I thought, I'm going to stop by after. And if that box set is still there, I'm going to buy it. And the reason I didn't buy it is because it was $45. It actually was not much of a discount from the retail price. But when I show it to you, I think you'll know why I bought it. So it is actually this 2-book box set. So it's kind of 2 in 1, you know. And it is the Parable of the Sower duology by Octavia E. Butler. And I think this box set is just beautiful. Look at the artwork on this. It is absolutely stunning. We have a picture of our beautiful author here. And I had read her book Kindred earlier this year and absolutely loved it. So when I saw this box set there, I decided to buy it. The retail price is $50, and then with tax, I spent $47, so it really wasn't much of a discount, but the time to buy it is when you see it, so I decided to buy it. So here is the Parable of the Sower. Absolutely stunning covers, and this one is Parable of the Talents. And from what I understand, this is a dystopian sci-fi series, and I think I'm going to really enjoy it based on how I liked her other book, but also based on other people's reviews. And I do understand that this is actually an unfinished series because she was working on the 3rd book and never completed it before she passed away. But that being said, I'm super excited to read this duology. I will probably prioritize that for next year. I am actually looking forward to next year because as much as I am enjoying this American Lit Reading Challenge, I do sometimes feel like I am completing an assignment because I'm sometimes reading books that I'm not always as excited about, and it feels a little bit more of a chore. And over the course of this year, I have really grown my TBR pile. As you might know, last year, my goal was to keep my TBR pile under 5 books. I think when the year ended, I was under 10 books, and I wasn't concerned about it. My TBR right now is completely overflowing my TBR shelf. I actually don't have anywhere to put this on my bookshelf right now, so I'm going to have to keep it somewhere else. But I don't feel too concerned about it because this year my priority has been this challenge, and I've been reading vast majority of books from the library, so I've still allowed myself to buy books, and I enjoy buying books. And I think next year, looking ahead, I know we're still quite a ways out from next year, but my goal next year is just going to be to read my book collection because I've collected so many incredible books that I'm really excited to read, and it will be nice to do that at my leisure. But in terms of my reading update, I did read The Call of the Wild by Jack London. This is a kid's classic book published in 1903. I read this for a book set in Alaska, and this book was a struggle for me. Now this is a small little book. It's 134 pages. I should have been able to sit down and read it in one day or maybe 2 days. It took me a week because I just didn't want to read it. And it's weird because overall, I liked the story. There were parts of it that I did not like, specifically the treatment of women and the treatment of Native Americans. There's a horrific scene near the end where Native Americans are just portrayed terribly. And the one woman character in this book is also portrayed really terribly. So that itself was disappointing. But the overall storyline, which is about a dog named Buck who grew up in California, and then he is stolen and sold off by someone who is in debt, and then he is forced to work as a sled dog. Very interesting story. I think it is very compelling from an animal cruelty perspective. I think it's also very compelling just to learn about what these sled dogs go through. When I was a kid, the movie Balto came out, the animated one. I loved that movie. It was one of my favorite movies. I loved Balto. I saw the movie 8 Below, loved that movie, sobbed at the ending of that movie in the theater. And now, as somebody who's been vegan for 10 years, I just cannot support this whole practice of these working dogs. And so I think reading the book from that perspective, I enjoyed, but the reading experience itself was a huge struggle for me. And I'm glad to get this off my TBR. And I would love to know if there are any books that you have self-assigned as a challenge and you still feel like it's a school assignment and struggle to get through. This was definitely that for me. But I'm glad I read it. And now I'm currently reading The Guncle by Stephen Rowley. This is a library book, so I'm trying not to flash the reflection in your eyes. I started this the other day and I am currently on page 60. So I'm enjoying this thus far. It is about a man from Palm Springs who takes in his niece and nephew after their mother dies and their father needs to go to rehab. And it's so funny thus far because he has a really great banter with his niece and nephew, and he does not know how to deal with kids. He's kind of flying by the seat of his pants. And these kids also don't really know him. They visited him once years ago when they were very little. And now that they're a little bit older, they just don't really remember that visit. And so there's a lot of great back and forth that I find very entertaining. But I also have a feeling this is going to be a very heartfelt book as well, because we are dealing with grief. So I am looking forward to reading this one. I think this is going to be a great summer read. Hopefully get a lot of it done over the weekend. And then once I finish that, I'm going to move into the Townsend Family Recipe for Disaster by Shauna Robinson, which I have here. I did not finish I'm Laughing Because I'm Crying yet, because I did pick these up from the library, and I always try to prioritize my physical library books so that I can read them before they are due back. And once I finish those two, I will check out I'm Laughing Because I'm Crying from the library, because it's only available as an ebook. That is everything for today. I feel like I just yapped at you a lot. I hope that you are reading something good. Let me know what you're reading in the comments below. I hope to get at least another review up for you in the coming days. And I hope you are staying cool in this summer weather. I will see you in my next video. Bye.